Hey guys, SFP here, and welcome to another episode of my FIFA 15 career mode DC United. I believe it's episode 6, and we're off here looking at the email, and it seems that Conor Doyle wants to play the next game, so I figured I might not go with my B team here, or my default, and I guess I might be switching him in there later. Anyways, at the moment, I'm actually watching the New York City FC versus New England game here I guess at my home, technically I should say, but they're playing in Yankee Stadium, and I guess I'm a little worried, to be honest, because I'm not a big fan of these stadium non-soccer specific stadiums being used for soccer purposes. I know that's a little ironic, I guess, because DC plays in a football stadium, but hopefully that'll change by 2017 when they get their new stadium. But yeah, and I've been hearing a lot of commotion coming, especially from the Yankee baseball team, about how they're very unpleased with how this situation is going, especially because, if I'm not mistaken, the baseball season is currently on it's currently happening at the moment, and I guess they don't want the field in any way to be adjusted and not have it affect the way they play. But hopefully things will smooth over with both organizations, and that'll be the end of that. Anyways, I'm here with the first game against Sporting Kansas City, which, for those of you who have been watching MLS, lost yesterday against the FC Dallas team. And it seems to be a shift in momentum now. Everyone was praising Sporting Kansas City before. Sporting Fit and all the things that Peter Ramirez was doing with the team, and it culminating with the MLS Cup that they won about, I want to say, 2 or 3 years ago. But lately they've been out of momentum, out of tempo. I think it's catching up to them, either in the way that the teams and coaches know how to play against them now, or it's just the fact that there needs to be a change of some kind, because ever since the second half of last season, they've kind of had a dip in form. But here we go, and apparently nothing really exciting happened in the first half here. Most of the play was in the midfield, so there wasn't really too many shots for either team. But hopefully that will change in the second half. Anyways, here I'm switching the usual suspects here. Kitchen for Halsey, and I believe I'm putting Rolf in for Pontius. And speaking about the other MLS games, one of the games that actually quite interested me last night was the Real Salt Lake game, which I'm trying to remember who they played against. I'm actually drawing a blank here. Oh, I think it was San Jose, actually. But for those of you who did watch, please correct me. But it ended in a 3-3 tie. Oh wait, never mind. The San Jose was a Seattle, which I'll get to. But the tie at Rio Tinto, which is usually a big fortress for Real Salt Lake, and so having them not get the win, so to speak, is really surprising. But I guess many analysts have expected some sort of drop off, especially now that they're transitioning away from the 4-4-2 diamond, which Jason Christ was so known for, and Real Salt Lake was so known for in their previous years. And I guess they're trying to find a new form of identity. At least that's what I'm getting from all these changes. And here we go. We get Mikey Lopez, I believe, gets a yellow card there. So hopefully I can get him to draw another foul and get a red card, I guess I should say. And here we go. The game ends 0-0. And so does the FC Dallas San Jose Earthquakes game. Montreal with the win, though. That's not good, especially since they're in our conference. But no, wait. Yeah, they're in our conference. For some reason, I keep confusing Montreal with Vancouver for some reason. I know they're both Canadian, but that shouldn't be the case considering they're on the opposite sides of the country. And here, as I always say, the monthly, improvements from each player. Eddie Johnson's going down. Arieta's still going, and Chris Corb's growing nicely, and so is Perry Kitchen. I'm surprised that Aguilar hasn't grown as much as I'd like, but hopefully I'll be able to play him more, and he'll be able to increment his stats there. And it looks like Arno has finally dropped a couple points, or a point. Anyway, so that was, or I talked about the FC Dallas versus Kansas City, Russell Lake versus Philadelphia. That's the team. And Philadelphia, just I guess continuing with that, seems to, at least with Jim Curtin, seems to have found at least a better identity than what they had before with Peter Novak and oh my god, I can't remember the previous coach's name right now. John Hackworth. And I like what Curtin has done at the moment. I actually supported the move of having him come back as the head coach because he had the interim tag for a while, and I know many Philly fans were a little bit skeptical considering John Hackworth had the same tag when he officially became the coach of the Philadelphia Union. But considering that I believe John Hackworth didn't have much coaching experience to begin with, at least not to the extent that Curtin has, I think it was a different circumstance. Anyways, and I was mentioning before the Seattle versus San Jose game, which again was another surprise, because Seattle, just like RSL in the Rio Tinto, they're so dominant at CenturyLink Field, and having a team like San Jose, which when you consider them how they played last season under Mark Watson, they were a little bit lackluster. And besides Wando, I don't think they had much of a threat, but now they've gotten new pieces here. I think they have Pedro Garcia, who's in the center of the field, and a moment of silence here for my goalkeeper who just got scored on by the Columbus Crew. And I believe that's Finley. I want to say that's Finley, but I'm not quite sure. Oh no, well, definitely not Finley anymore because I just saw him. Spees, I believe it is, unless the upgrade changed, the updated teams changed. But yeah, it was a mistake. I would say this will never happen again, but trust me, I'm pretty sure somewhere within this season this will happen again. Typically I don't like to kick the ball out or punt it out, I should say. I like to play from the back, but sometimes crap like this happens, so just bear with me here. And obviously the Columbus Crew fans are happy. I'm clearly not happy. But anyways, going back to the game, the Seattle Sounders seem to, I guess, take the, oh wow, what a goal by, I want to say, Luis Silva. And it was an interesting goal because the goalkeeper actually just stood there. I'm pretty sure had he dove, he could have gotten it, but I guess Clark was just a little lazy there. Nonetheless, I'll take it. But anyways, as I was saying before, Seattle seemed to have the advantage, especially going up so early with a Clint Dempsey goal. I thought they were going to run over the San Jose Earthquakes, just like they did against the New England Revolution, because I rate the New England Revolution better than I rate the San Jose Earthquakes, but they managed to get the upset here, and I'm wondering whether this is just a fluke. Oh, and a nice save by Clark there. I'm wondering if it's just a fluke by the San Jose Earthquakes, or if it's something that Dom Kinnear is actually doing. I don't know if it's just him being there, giving the team an extra motivation and finding a way to get these victories away from home, because that's been one of the biggest issues for the San Jose Earthquakes. They typically play very well at home, but just don't manage to replicate their home form away from it. And here we go with the first half, and it's a 1-1 tie. It's been a little interesting. Both teams have managed to get the same amount of shots, so I'd say we're about dead even at the moment. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to put Michael Seaton in for Estrada. I'm going to take Arnaud and put in Colin Martin. And I believe I'm going to put Perry Kitchen as well, or Jared Jeffrey. And I think I went with Jared Jeffrey here. But yeah, and then the Vancouver-Chicago game was, I want to say again, a little lackluster. It wasn't the most exciting game. And here we go with the run-on. Hopefully I can manage to get it on frame. And that weak chip there, I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I wanted to go for the fancy shot when I should have just made sure it went in. Anyways, there's Estrada there in the bench. And as I was saying, the Chicago Ah, my God, I don't know what to say about Chicago. They've been so underwhelming and really difficult to watch, and I feel for the Chicago fans. I feel for them because they've been in a bad rut recently in these last couple of years. I don't rate Frank Yellow highly. I guess he had his moments there with the Los Angeles Galaxy, and I want to say about 2 or 3 years ago when they made that run with the San Jose Earthquakes, where they actually managed to knock out the Red Bulls. But other than that, he doesn't seem to be cutting it in MLS anymore. And I think it's just a change of system. I think he hasn't adapted to this new style of play and this new type of coaching that these younger, or at least more, uh, co- I want to say new coaches, new systems, and then certain coaches who go with the times, so to speak, and then they adapt their new coaching to reflect the nuances of these new ideas. And so I think his best days are behind him. And Vancouver has been an exciting team to watch. Now they've been missing so many of their chances though that I feel that that needs to improve. Otherwise, they will be at the same place they are, barely making it to the playoffs and just saying goodbye in the first round. And that is the end of the game. The game ends 0-0. And so far, I believe I've gotten 2 ties, which, while ties are good, I need to get the 3 points. Otherwise, I'm just going to be stagnant in the table. And speaking about Montreal, here we go, contracts. And I think I'm going to sign Perry Kitchen up. If you guys remember, he's actually one of my 3 players that I would like to hold until he retires. So having him sign that contract would be very ideal for me. Otherwise, I'm going to have to pick a new person to add to that list of 3. But anyways, and then the last game was the Columbus Crew versus Toronto FC. And I believe I missed the second half of the Chicago Vancouver game because I figured the Columbus Crew and Toronto game was going to be more exciting. And from the beginning of the match, I could tell that it was already more entertaining than the match I left. Now, I think they were about dead even, actually, both getting equal opportunities and nice looks and goal until that red card. That after looking through replays, I originally thought it was going to be at least a yellow or deserving of a yellow, but after looking back closely at the replays, I can say for a fact that it shouldn't have even been a card. I don't think there was enough contact, and basically the player in question sold the play there for the ref to call. And while watching the New York City game, Villa just scored, and they're up 1-0 right now. Anyways, and going back on the Columbus, I know I keep switching here and forth, but Toronto just couldn't cut it this game, and I think this is just going to be an outlier for them. I don't think they are as good as most people say they are, because I'm pretty sure results like these are going to happen again, especially with good teams like Columbus Crew, who with Greg Berhalter, I believe, will be a better team than they were last year. I question Greg Vanney's coaching ability just because he doesn't have much experience to begin with. But I guess everyone always has to start somewhere. I do give props though to Kai Kamara for scoring that goal and that celebration, harking back to the history of the Columbus Crew. I thought that was pretty great. But anyways, now that I'm done talking about those games, let's just focus on this one. And it looks like I committed a foul on Jack McInerney, and he's going for the PK. Let's see if Hamid can pull some magic here and block that shot, although this is probably as good as a goal. And Piatti's been a very good player for... Oh, God. And I didn't even move that time. That was ridiculous. So I was saying Piatti has been a good addition for the Montreal Impact. I think he's been very influential in the attack, and he brings a certain pedigree that I think Frank Coplas and the Montreal Impact were missing. And I mean, what can you expect from a player who, has came from I believe Copa Sudamericana or Copa Libertadores, I'm not quite sure, but I want to say it's the former. Came from that team that actually managed to win the cup that year. And so you're getting a good quality player from that aspect. And it's his 8th goal in the MLS Cup. And for those of you who have been watching, I don't seem to have a solid a goal scorer. So far, the scoring has been divided. I believe a couple of my forwards have 2 or 3 goals, but there doesn't seem to be that one striker that I can depend on. I can depend on for to nab a goal every game, and that has to change. Otherwise, I'm gonna not be able to get those much needed wins. And I'm switching, I believe, Fabian Spindola. Oh, not Fabian Spindola. Eddie Johnson is going out, and I'm gonna put in Miguel Aguilar. And I believe that's the only change I made. And here's the beginning of the second half. Espindola to Silva. Silva shoots. Nice save there by, I want to say, Evan Bush. Taylor Kemp passes it to Halsey. Halsey shoots, and it's just wide of the goal. Means the goalkeeper is going to put it back in play any moment now. And there he goes. And here we go with the attack from the Spindola. Spindola shoots, and again, just far wide. It seems that I always go for the second post, and it's always just slightly wide. If only the goal were bigger, I'm pretty sure I would have made those two. Or I guess if the goal was moved a little bit more to the right side, they would have gone in. Again, the goalkeeper puts it back in place. Nice ball to a Spindola. Spindola should be able to manage here. He does the cutback. Is he going to shoot? And again, I cannot seem to shoot on target. It's like the 3rd or 4th time this half, but I can't seem to get it on frame. And I got possession again. Halsey with Aguilar. Aguilar's going to find Silva open, is he not? Silva's going to cut back. Silva shoots, and there's the tying goal with 15 minutes left. So hopefully I'll be able to get a second and grab that much needed victory, because I can't keep tying all the time. Nicely slotted there. And I believe this is Silva's first goal of the season. And the bench is pretty happy there. Yep, first goal of the season for Luis Silva, who is still injured for DC United currently in the season. And here you go with Aguilar. Aguilar passes it to Silva. Silva alone. He should pass it back to Spindola. Spindola shoots. And a nice save by Evan Bush. And honestly, that should have been a goal. There is no excuse for that. I was basically one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and that's pretty sad. Anyways, it seems that the game is about to end here, and I unfortunately will get another tie. Whoa, that was close. That was a close shot by the forward from Montreal. Anyways, it's not ideal, but it's better than a loss, I guess. And remember when I said I was going to do stupid things like that? Well, it just happened again. Luckily, though, Montreal didn't manage to score at the last minute. And anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Until next week, see you guys later, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye-bye.